Hello ladies and gents, and welcome to a Super Council tutorial for PES 2021. So Super Council is 2 buttons that will help you attack and defend better all over the pitch in almost every single aspect. Super Council was introduced to cancel actions such as passes, through balls and shots where you've changed your mind, but you're actually going to find out it's much more than that in this tutorial. And once mastered, you'll find yourself scoring more headers, overhead kicks, peeling away from defenders for tap-ins, improving your defensive positioning. You'll also learn how to barge people off the ball without causing a foul, maintaining your speed and momentum, also increasing your sprint speed and strength on the ball, and more importantly, gain 100% full manual control of your player. So in this first example, by holding the sprint and special controls button, I'm able to peel Ronaldo away from the defender and open his body just for a simple tap-in. Using Super Council, you're going to find yourself scoring more from crosses, especially headers. So you can see here I'm using Super Council to attack the ball with Ronaldo. So instead of letting the ball float across, like I said, I'm attacking it. That means a running jump will always beat a standing defender. In this next example, I'm able to pull away from the defender off screen once my player has been selected. This enables me to head it back into the danger area, but unfortunately the keeper sort of reads that and catches it safely. So you've seen a few examples where I'm pulling away from the defender, but you can actually use it for sort of dink crosses like this, where I'm actually peeling away from the defender to the near post this time instead of the far post to score. I have to say this is especially effective with manual crosses, which you're seeing here. Also using Super Council to cancel crosses gets a far bigger reaction from the AI, giving you more time to pick out your target when crossing the ball. So now let's take a look at the movement that you can actually get from holding Super Council. Watch at this precise moment now. That moment there is when I took control of Martial using Super Council to steal in front of the defender and score a header. With Super Council, you can increase the frequency of your overhead kicks. Just simply make sure your player's got acrobatic finishing. But if you just position him just goal side of the ball, you'll be able to perform these overhead kicks, which you're seeing here. And I scored this worldie against Liverpool in off the underside of the bar. Super Council's excellent at cancelling actions when you sort of least expect them to happen. So here I wanted to pass the ball forwards. He takes a touch, so then I want to cancel it because he's going to intercept that pass, and that enables me to play it out to the fullback. Watching this next clip as my player slows up, but I'm able to cancel that action using Super Council. Then I position Depay in between the defender and the ball, and then hold it down to shield him, which I'll touch on in a bit more detail in a second. But also the Super Council shot brings a bigger reaction from the goalkeeper, allowing me to place the ball into an empty net. I'll be touching on the strength on the ball aspect in a little bit more detail later on, but right now we're just going to focus on cancelling shots. So in this next example, watch the big reaction you get from the defenders and the goalkeeper with that fake shot using Super Council. Another empty net finish. It's also great for cancelling through balls. You can see here, Rashford goes offside. I go to pass him. I realise he's offside. See the keeper comes off his line, and I change my mind to do a chip. Here, I go to lay a pass off. See the two defenders close in. I'm able to skip away from them and get a shot off. Super Council also gives you complete freedom of movement. And what you're seeing here is me just about miss the ball to allow it to run through. And that allows me to get on the right side of the ball to run at goal and get the shot off. From this angle, it's probably a little bit better. You can actually see me pull away from the path of the ball. And by holding Super Council, you lose that magnetism that your player has towards the ball. And the same applies for this next clip where I let the ball run past me and I spin onto it. And that just opens that through ball there. Here I'm able to use Super Council to draw the defender in, bait him in, and then just roll him just by moving away from the ball. So he spins in behind, and then I'm able to drive at that defence, perform a little bit of skill, and get the shot off. And online and offline, it confuses the hell out of defenders. Look at this, how I spun in behind, because he thought I was going to take the touch. So using Super Council to pull away from the ball can trick your opponents. Super Council can improve your first touch as well, so you can change the direction of the ball, as you're seeing here against Barcelona. I actually turned into him. Here I'm able to cut inside using a little bit of Super Council with Martial, and you'll know if you do it right because the ball lifts off the ground because you're cutting across the ball. Once you've mastered the first touch, you'll be able to do a lightning speed 180-degree turn, and here I peel away but then cut in to run straight at the goalkeeper, making the chip a lot easier to pull off. So there, just straightening up Aubameyang for the simple chip. Again, it's great for cutting across the ball, and like I said, you will lift the ball off the ground when you take that first touch and you cut across the ball, as you're seeing here with Greenwood before rifling it into the bottom corner. If I just display the control pads for this example, able to cut inside that defender, you can see how bemused he is as I sort of cut inside. He's not expecting it. They can't expect it. They can't program that. So now let's take a look at the freedom of movement and what advantage we can use here. So here I enable Super Council to run the other side, expecting him to cut across towards his goalkeeper. He does exactly that, allowing me to score. Again, with that freedom of movement, you can confuse defenders. As you can see here, I just did a simple little move just to cut inside and had the defender spinning in circles. With this bit of freedom of movement, watch this. You can see I'm not even running towards the ball because I know the ball's coming towards my path, enabling me to shrug off the defender, take a touch on the ball and chip it over the goalkeeper. Watch Luke Shaw here as he receives a speed boost just by holding Super Cancel. I did actually prove this in the PES 2020 video on how to sprint faster, so check that out if you haven't seen it already. Super Cancel can also be used to hold off challenges and outmuscle defenders on the ball, as you're seeing here with Luke Shaw. He gets around the back and just shoves him off, allowing him to cross and easily tap the ball into the net. This, I had no right to be able to get this ball, but watch how I engage Super Cancel to outmuscle that defender, get the ball between those two defenders, shove them off and get the shot off. Only use Super Cancel when you absolutely need to. So you can see here I was pretty comfortable, but at this point I felt myself getting tugged back. So I applied Super Cancel, and that just creates the opening and gap in the defense to allow me to shoot and score from this angle. So just one more example of using Super Cancel to hold the defender off before we look at the defensive side of things. So how Super Cancel can help us defensively. So let's look at the aerial side of things first. Very similar to how we attack the ball in the box using Super Cancel with that freedom of movement. What we're doing here is just using Super Cancel to position our player in a position where we can just sort of either knock the ball backwards by positioning our defender in front of their striker, or position our defender just behind and pushing the striker in the back to allow the ball just to float over his head. And you've probably seen this one online where you can get away with murder. You basically hold Super Cancel down, charge your player into the opposition, knocks him flying, no foul given, play on, says the ref, and then you're able to take the ball and go up the pitch. So just a few more examples of where I can barge players off the ball. Here I use Super Cancel, then switch to the other player whilst applying the secondary press before switching back and tapping X to win the ball. Here again using Super Cancel, allowing me to tackle from the angle that I want, tap X to win the ball. Let's take a look at how Super Cancel can help us from a defensive positioning point of view. Here I position my player so it prevents him crossing the ball, and that allows me to close the angle, use the jockey button, which is the special controls, and tap X to win the ball. And you can also use it for those long balls over the top, just to shield the player and then just let it run out for a goal kick. And lastly, I think it's worth mentioning that the AI do seem to struggle when you're holding Super Cancel down to identify where your players are. Here, I'm able to easily intercept one passing lane and then run around the other side and take the ball off him. And that, ladies and gents, concludes this tutorial. Hopefully you guys found this useful. If you did, don't forget to smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I've got plenty more detail on all these aspects and so much more in PES 2021, and I look forward to speaking to you then. Take care guys, I'll see you soon, bye bye.